Advaita Chintanam. Namah Sarvebhya. Hari Om. Advaita Chintana Varge Sarvesham Swagatam. Pratamam Dhyanam. Vakratunda Mahakaya Suryakodi Samaprabha Nirvignam Kurume Deva Sarvakaryeshu Sarvada Saraswati Namastubhyam Varade Kamarupini Vidyarambam Karishyami Siddhir Bhavatu Me Sada Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutra Bhashya Kritau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punah. Namah Paramarishibhyo Namah Paramarishibhyah. Om Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahavidyam Karavavahai Tejasvinavaditamastu Ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Welcome to the first session of Advaita Chintanam. Throughout this particular session, I'll be using the presentation plus the PDF which I had sent to you. That also will be displayed when we discuss about that. I thought since some of the members are not abreast about what is the Advaita as a system and the background of Indian systems of philosophy or knowledge, I decided to take through the first part of the class through the from the basics of what is the system of thought process in Indian system of philosophy. Prayojanam sampravarte karanam phalalakshanam Prayojanam anudishya na mandovi pravartade. Sarva Siddhanta Sangraha is a book by Adi Shankara. In that, the second line he quotes a very common nyaya which is prevalent in the country even in those days. Prayojanam anudishya na mandovi pravartade. It means mandaha api na pravartade. Yata prayojanam anuddeshya. If there is no return or the phalam nasti chet, mandaha api na karyam karoti. To understand that, we should know what is the process, what triggers us to do an action. Janati, it is ichchati, not yachchati. Ichchati yatate. Okay. Now, Janati is basically born out of Jnanam. Now, Jnanam is, another word is Jnanam, for Jnanam is Prama. And Jnanam can be Prama or Aprama. That is right knowledge or illusion or misconstrued knowledge. So that comes under the category of Jnanam, which includes our Pratyaksha Pramanam, that is from the visual sensory organs, what feeds us, and Anumanam, which is inference. Then there are other 6 varieties: Pratyaksha Pramana, Pratyaksha Anumana, Upamana, Arthapatti. Like that, there are 6 varieties of gaining knowledge. Now, with that, we come to know something is there. Saha janati tad asti. Yat asti chet tasya ichha bhavati. So, the second stage is ichhati, or the kama to attain an object which is existing or available triggers the yatanam or karmam or pravartanam. So the third stage is yatate. Janati, ichchati, yatate. So, which is basically what is jnana, karma, kama, karma. Now, in the Advaita, what is the reason for this is given is the jnanam is not the jnanam of satyam. So when it is ajnana kama karmani avidya ityuchyate, so that is called the avidya, or the what you call maya or nescience in English. Now in the jnanam there are, if you look at it, there are two bifurcations or dichotomies of that. One is bahya jnanam, that is outside knowledge, and is atma jnanam, which is the about yourself, esoteric and exoteric, which we say. The swarupa avagamanam, or the knowing of oneself, is called the atma jnanam. And anatma jnanam is bahya loka avagamanam. Now that can be anything which is observable. Now we will come to this, what is observable, what is non-observable, when we get into the text of Aparokshanubhuti more in detail. But for the time being, understand that what is observable becomes anatma jnanam, bahya loka avagamanam, and itara vishayika jnanam, because that's a vishaya. That's why I said it's an observable. Now when we come to what are the atma jnanam, the atma jnanam is divided by the faith in the Vedas, which is called astika, are the people who take Veda for a shabda pramanam, whereas nastikas are people who do not consider Veda as a shabda pramanam for accepting the reality of things. Now among the nastikas, the few of them are Bauddha, Jaina, Charvaka, Darshanam. Now Charvaka is people who has no thing, they think the whole body, our living, we are like animals, we will eat, sleep and enjoy or suffer, and by death everything comes to an end. And everything is, there is no karma, no dharma, neither good deed nor bad deed. So basically what they say is ahara nidra vayamaitunam cha samanyam edat pasivir naranam. That is what they believe in. Aharam nidra bhayam maitunam. That is food, sleep. Fear is for the expressions of emotions. Maitunam is procreation for the life to continue. Samanyam edat pasivir narana. Dharmo hi tesham atiko vishesha dharmo vihina pasivir samana. That is the second part of the sloka, which differentiates a nastika to a nastika. So in dharma, the astika has this thing. The dharma is dictated by or ordained by Vedas. Vidhi, Nishedam, Nitya Naimittikam, all these things come under Vedas. So what the people who accept the Vedas to adhere to dharma are all called astikas. There are Shad Darshanani, and that who take Veda Pramanam as, because they say Vedam Asti. And why the word Nastika has come is that they say Vedam Nasti. Veda Pramanam Nasti. Now among the astikas, the oldest one is, of course, apart from Purva Mimamsa, Sankhya Darshanam as a philosophy. Purva Mimamsa is purely the part which ordains the karmas, like Yajna, Sandhyanama, Agnihotradi, Karmagan. They believe that in following the Veda Ukta Karmanam Moksham Bhavati Swargam Prapnodi. Swarga Kamo Yajeta is one of the ordained in the Veda. That is, those who wish to have Swarga, you should do a particular Yajna. Pashukama Yajeta. So those who want animals, or like horses, cows, elephants and all to be their part of wealth, Pashukamo Yajeta. Like that way, different these things are given in the Vedas for people when they believe in Purva Mimamsa, and they say after death, depending upon the dharma you have done, you are either taken to the Brahmaloka or Hiranyagarbhaloka or Chandraloka or Pitraloka. They have got 14 lokas depending upon from the top to bottom. 7 above and 7 supposed to be Adama and 7 Uttama. So that is their belief, and it's purely on belief. There is no guarantee or there is no proof that it is in. And they say the term they use it is adrushtam, because that it cannot be seen, because it is something which is afterlife. Now Uttara Mimamsa is the people where a set of slokas and instructions are there in the later portion of Vedanta, which calls for it is also known as Vedanta. Now in the Vedanta, the other term for them Vedanta is Upanishad. Okay, and this is what talks about Brahma Jitnyasa and Brahma Asti, and such thought process are there. Before that, and when these two that, after came up the Sankhya Darshanam. In the Sankhya Darshanam, among all the darshanas, the oldest among the philosophies other than what is ordained in the Vedas. They have got only two things. One they call it as Purusha and Prakriti are eternal. Purusha is Chaitanyam, Prakriti is inanimate or what is created or creatable. And when Purusha Prakriti Samyogam comes, it gets Jivatvam. And the moksha is when Purusha detaches itself from the Prakriti, it is supposed to be Mukta. Now here the simile or the example given in the Sankhya Darshana is a Nartaki and a man watching a Nartaki. The man gets enamored by the Nartaki. As long as she dances, the man is bound to sit there and enjoy it. But the moment the dance stops, the man realizes that, oh, okay, I've been in a different world because of the dance. That is the example given there. That's a very crude example. For them, the three doshas are there: Sattva, Rajas, Tamas. This is the mixture of these one. The entire Prakriti is created. So that is on the Sankhya Darshanam. Nyaya, Vaisheshika Darshanam are more or less similar, but Vaisheshika Darshanam was the first one to be there before Nyaya Darshanam. Vaisheshika Darshanam was around 1000 BC, whereas Nyaya Darshanam came around 200 AD. But both are basically similar. I will show it in the next slide where there is and then came based on the Sankhya's philosophy only, the Yoga Darshanam came, which was written by Patanjali, and all the texts coming under the Astikas are categorized into 3 categories. It is called Shruti, Smriti, Puranas. Now Shruti is purely the Vedas, the 4 Vedas, Rig, Yajur, Sama, Atharva. Smriti is, Gita is included in the Smriti, but not Mahabharata. Gita is included in the Smriti, and other than that is Manusmriti, Gautama Smriti, Yajnavalkya Smriti, Narada Smriti, like that there are about 18 Smritis available. Same way, Puranani, there is Ashtadasha Puranani. Matsya, then Vishnu Purana, Markandeya Purana, Kurma Purana, Vamana Purana, like there are 18 Puranas, which is separate. So there are 3 pillars of textbooks which are used by these Astika people who follow their religion. Now the Nyayas has got the book called Nyaya Sutras. The author of it is Gautama Rishi, sage Gautama, and he talks about Sapta Padartha, Dravya Guna Karma Samanya Vishesha Samavaya Abhavaha Sapta Padarthaha, and Pramanai Artha Viparikshana Mimamsa. It's on the pramana. They look for everything. For everything, they want a pramana. There are 6 pramanas which I told you. Pratyaksha, Anumana, Upamana, Arthavati, and then Shabda. Like that. There are 6 pramanas which they use it. If anything has to be accepted, it has to be acceptable to one of the methods of prama. Prama, Karanam, Pramanam. That is what they are saying in it. By which a prama is generated, only that is a real pramana, otherwise others are not real pramana. The earlier Vaisheshika Sutras had only 6, and it was written by Kanada Maharshi, and known as Vaisheshika Sutras. And he had only 6 of the padarthas of the same group: Dravya, Guna, Karma, Samanya, Vishesha, Samavaya. They didn't take Abhava at that time, which was added later because the Nyaya came in. And by 1000 AD, around 900 to 1000 AD, both these darshanas, Nyaya Darshanam and Vaisheshika Darshanam, virtually merged together to call it as Navya Nyaya. And Udayanacharya is the person who virtually did the effort to merge together these two things. But the sutras like Vaisheshika Sutra and Nyaya Sutras are still available for people to follow. And one of the very famous book on Nyaya Vaisheshika Sutram, which today being taught everywhere, is the Tarka Shastra. Actually, Tarka Shastra means, Tarka means not a debate. Tarka, there it means the methodology of establishment. And they have got this based on the Nyaya Sutra and Vaisheshika Sutra merged. They have the Annambata. He is supposed to be from Andhra Pradesh, and he went to Kashi to study Nyaya and Vaisheshika, and after coming back he wrote the Tarka Shastra. Now in the Sankhya Shastra, Kapilasya Sankhya Shastra, Trivida Dukkha Nivritti, that is from the Trigunatmika, 3 dukkhas are coming, and Purusha, Prakriti are eternal, and only when there is no death of Purusha or Prakriti, but their disjointment takes place. Then the Purusha becomes free from the clutches of Prakriti and is called moksha for them. Based on that Sankhya philosophy only, sage Patanjali or Patanjali Yoga Sutras were developed as a process to, do the dharana, dhyana, samadhis for practicing the dukkha nivritti. So where they said that the dukkhas are basically in the mind, and then chitta vritti nirodham. Then when the chitta is mind or the buddhi or the subtler than that, and when the vritti takes place in the chitta, that is called the activity of the mind. When it is nirodha, when it is stopped, then the mind becomes still. In that still mind, you get a reflected consciousness, and that will remove your dukkha, is what it is saying. But based on this, there is Raja Yoga and Hatha Yoga and other, all different varieties of yogas have come from this only. The most prominent one, which we all believe it as yoga, the yoga asanas, are only one aspect of the methodology used for purifying the physical body to control the mind. So yoga asanas are different and yoga is different. Okay. Then comes the Purva Mimamsa by Jaimini. Jaimini Purva Mimamsa. There Athato Dharma Jitnyasa. That is how the sutra starts. That Dharma, I told you in the earlier, Dharmena Hina Pashuvir Samana. So Dharma to hold on to or to uphold the dharma in the world, Jaimini has written the Dharma Sutras, which is called Purva Mimamsa Sutras. But it is purely ritualistic in nature, and everyone who follows this particular are basically priest class and people who are doing all the rituals most of the time. And out of the same Vedas, the 4 Vedas, there are 3 parts of it. One is called pure karma, then second one is called karma upasana. While doing a karma, the upasana or the imagination of the karma as an oblation or a arpana. So there, for example, in the one of the Vedas, I mean, where the Brihadaranyaka is thing, there are in most of the Upanishads there is a mixture of upasana and karma plus tattvajnana. There, Ashwa, the horse, is to be imagined as the earth. The face of the horse facing is east to the sunrise, Pricham toward the west, then Romani is Sasyam, all the hair on the body of the horse is the vegetation on the surface of the earth, like, and the udaram of the horse is considered to be the akasha for the meditator. Like that, there is and that horse is for Ashwamedha Yaga. So that is the time when they do the saying that the Ritvik, the one who is supposed to do the puja, is supposed to meditate on the horse as the earth itself, for the vegetation to grow, rains to come, and no harm from fire or water to happen to this thing. Those are all the in the karma jitnyasa. I mean, karma jitnyasa, part of that, which is also in some of the Upanishads, you can see a mixture of that. Then comes the pure tattva part, which is called the Uttara Mimamsa or Upanishads. And sage Vatsyayana or Badarayana, Vyasa or Badarayana, is the author for the Vedanta Sutras, called the Brahma Sutras, because it starts with the first sutra, Adhato Brahma Jitnyasa. So that is the reason why that first this thing, it is called Brahma Shastram or Vedanta Shastram in the Vedas and the Astika tradition. Now, Advaitam, why Advaitam? Till Shankara, Adi Shankara expounded the real meaning from the Upanishad, there were some earlier masters like Vrittikara and some other names are there, even Gaudapada for that matter. They have mentioned about Advaitic aspects of the mantras in the Upanishads, but no clear-cut, definite thought process was developed until Shankara gave that Bhashya for all the 10 Upanishads and Brahma Sutra and Bhagavad Gita. So Advaitam was established, even though it was as a theory, it was available, but with disputing everybody who was not accepting it, like Kumara Mandana Mishra, Kumara Bhatta, and Buddha kings and Buddha scholars, he took them on a verbal duel and defeated them for establishing the Advaita philosophy. Now, that 3 canons of Advaitam are called Prasthanatrayam. Brahma Sutrani, written by Badarayana Rishi or Vedavyasa. Vividaihi Vichitraihi Nityanittika Kamya Karmadi Vishayai Chandobhir Vedai na Pujyaniyah Devata Rupena Geetam Brahmanaha Sutrai Padaischa Brahma Sutrai Suchyate Ebhiriti Brahma Sutrani. This is the definition given for the Brahma Sutra in the Bhashya. beginning. Same way, there are 10 Upanishads. Isha Khena Kata Prashna Mundaka Mandukya Aitiriya Taitiriyam Cha Chandogyam by Brihadakaranyakam Tata. These are the 10 Upanishads from which the Mahavakyas all taken out, and we have been given those Upanishads Vakya. Now Shankara's his own words, Yatha ya imam Brahma Vidyam upayanyatmana bhavena Shraddha Bhakti Purasara Santatesham Garbha Janma Jara Rogadyanartha Anarthapugam Nishatayati Param Va Brahma Gamayati Avidyadi Samsara Karanam Cha Atyandam Avasadayati Vinashayati Upanishad. Iti Upanishad. Upanipurvasya Sader Avamatra Artha Smaranat Upanishad. That is the definition. What he says is that Brahma Vidya Upanyasat Atma Bhavena Shraddha Bhakti Purasara. So with all the devotion and Shraddha, attention, Santatosham by Santaha and Tesham Garbha Janma Jara Roga Adi Anartha Pugam. Anartha Pugam means Anartham, the group of anarthas. Garbha Janma Jara Roga Adyanartha Pugam Na Nishatayati Param Va Brahma Gamayati Avidyadi Samskara Karanam. Avidyadi Samskara Karanam. Avidya is the for the Karanam for all these Garbha Janma Jara Rogadi. Tat Sarvam Avasadayati Vinashayati Yaha Saha Upanishad. So that is the definition given for the Upanishad. And Bhagavad Gita is the Bhishma Parve Ashtadasha Adhyayatmake Karma Yoga Jnana Yoga Bhakti Yoga Suchakam Grantham. That is a simple definition for Bhagavad Gita. And now you have seen that for an Astika, what are the things available and what are the range of things available from which we can choose which path we follow. Because each one has got different mental makeup. So they are all called adhikaris. Now, when you ask him, which should I follow? Ananda Shastram Bahuveditabhyam Alpascha Kala Bhavascha Digna Yat Sarabhutam Tatupasidavyam Hamso Yata Shirambu Shiramivambu Mishram. So, Ananda Shastra, there are innumerable Shastra. Shasanat Trayate iti Shastram, because following which you are saved. That is called Shastra. And Ananda Shastra and Bahu Veditavyam, there are to be studied. Vedita is to study it. But the problem is Alpascha Kala, life is short. Bhavascha Vigna, there are a lot of obstacles for us to study. Then what do? Yat Sarabhudam Tadupasidavyam. What is the crux of it? Learn that. Example is Yata Hamsam Shirambu Shiramivambu Mishram. Shiram Ambu Mishram, that is milk and water. Mishram, Hamsam Yata takes out only the milk. Now I did a bit of find out why this example is given. It looks like there is the saliva inside the mouth of the Hamsa immediately curdles the milk, like how we make paneer at home or by a sour thing inside the milk. So the milk solids are brought together by the saliva of the Hamsa, and the tongue acts like a filter, it seems. So that's why it is able to pour out the water by taking the milk solids into his mouth. So Sarabhutam Tat Upasidavyam. Now coming to Brahma Sutra, there are 555 sutrani divided into 4 padas, and each pada has got sub, like Ashtadashayi only, this thing, and each one Vidyaranya Maharshi or Vidyaranya Muni has classified into Adhikarana, means subject wise. Sutras all together, and then related to one subject, which are the sutras are coming, they put together and they called an Adhikaranam. Now, Ishakena Kada Prashna, Mundaka Mandukya, Aitiriya, Taitiriya, Chandogya, Brihadaranya are the 10 Maha Upanishad, are the principal Upanishads, from which, for which Shankaracharya has given commentary. And Bhagavad Gita, there are 9 authentic commentaries for Bhagavad Gita, including Shankara, Ramanuja, Madhava, then Anandagiri, Nilakanta, like that. There are 9 excellent, authoritarians who have commented on Bhagavad Gita. Not to talk about the later the grammarians and Sanskrit Pandits who have written on that. That is not included. But these are all 1000 years and before who have written these commentaries. On Ishakena Kada Prashna Mandukya, there is a gradual philosophical change of Shankaracharya till he reaches Brihadaranyaka. In the Brihadaranyaka, it is like the Samnam Bhamam, what you call in that, the masterpiece of Shankaracharya for the Upanishad system. But it is the longest also. Because it is very long and difficult to study, mostly the last 2, Chandogya and Brihadaranya, are left out by people. They don't even venture to study that. Isha is the smallest. Isha and Prashna are the smallest. Kena Kata Upanishad is the basically from which the entire Bhagavad Gita is depending upon. The whole Bhagavad Gita has been taken, most of the mantras from the Katha Upanishad. And Prashna Upanishad is where 6 rishis goes to the master and asks 6 different questions. Mundaga is the place where the famous story of 2 birds, and the 2 birds, one is eating the fruit, whereas other one is sitting there without eating the fruit and looking at the one which is eating fruit. So that example is given for Jiva and Jivatma and Paramatma. In the Mandukya Upanishad, it's only 12 mantras, but it is the toughest as far as the Tattvam is concerned. In the Mandukya Upanishad, Gaudapada has written the Karika for that, for 4 padas, and Shankaracharya has written commentary for the 4 padas of Mandukya, including the 12 sutras. Aitreya is another Upanishad, whereas Taittiriya is used for chanting by even the Purva Mimamsa people for that, because there are Shishavalli, Brahmavalli, like that. And Taittiriya also is morely on meditation and practice of meditation. And Bhagavad Gita, of course, is most famous, where it talks about, actually Bhagavad Gita has a Sankhya lean more than Advaita lean. Even though some of the slokas are Advaitic, most of the slokas are Sankhya based, or Prakriti Purusha, Vedam, and then Trigunatmika, all those things. Now, these 3 Prasthanatrayas, after that comes the Prakarana Grandaha. Now, in the Prakarana Grandaha, the Bhagavad Pada Virachitam, there are many, supposed to be written by Adi Shankara, but there are a lot of disputes about it, which is written by him, which is not written by him. And then Anya Mahanta Virachitam, there are plenty of the sub books which are available, and they keep coming every now and then. Some Pandit or some Swamiji or Shankaracharya or the current Shankaracharyas, or they also bring out books like that. So they are all called in the Prakarana Granthas. In the Shankaracharya Virachitam, the famous ones are Viveka Chudamani is the most famous one. Then Aparokshanubhuti is the one which we are going to touch up, because that is almost like the Brihadaranya, but not exactly like Brihadaranya, because there are some places where it is not exactly like how the Bhagavad Pada mentioned it in the Brihadaranya, but it is the closest of all the Prakarana Granthas which we can see. Then the closest is Upadesha Sahasri, which has got a good part which is poetic in nature, and toward the end there is a prose component which also talks about the entire tattvam on that. Now this is as for the Prakarana Gandha. We are going to talk about Aparokshanubhuti as the first book. Now in these Upanishads there are 4 Mahavakyas. The first one is Prajnanam Brahma. That Prajna is the inner knowledge or the insight. That is Brahman. It comes in the Aitreya Upanishad of the Rigveda. I am Atma Brahma. This Atma is the Brahman itself, which is coming in the Mandukya Upanishad of Atharva Veda. Then the famous Tat Tvam Asi, Tattvam is in the Chandogya Upanishad, Tattvam Asi Shvetakedo. There, Shvetakeda is the son of Uddalaka, who goes to the what you call Gurukulam and studies and comes back. And then Uddalaka, the father, asked the son Uddalaka, Shvetaketu, did they teach you that knowledge by knowing which everything becomes known? No, father, I was not taught. Please teach me that. That is where the Tattvamasi dialogue between the father and son takes place. The Shvetaketu asked 9 times to the father, I didn't understand. Bhuya eva vitnyapayatu. Please explain me again. So that Shvetaketu's question is answered by giving different examples. One of the famous, often quoted verse is that Vacharambanam vikaro namadeyam mrittigatteva satyam. That Vacharambanam, Vak Alambanam. Vacharambanam means Vak Alambanam. Shabdam Alambanam. Vikaraha Namadeyam. Because of the Vikara which is appearing on the outside, Vak Alambanam Kritva, that is Nama and Rupa. Vikara and Vak. Nama Rupam. That is only the difference. But among all them, Mrittigateva Satyam, because he was showing to the son different articles made of the same mud. Like one is for water, one is for keeping rice, one is for for the yajna, one is for the as a ladle for the yajna. All the things are made of mud. So Mrittigateva Satyam. In all this thing, the mud is the truth. But because of the vikara, the shape, and then Vakalambanam, Vacharambanam, because of the dependency on different names for it, we are forgetting their mud and we give them Ghada, Pada, and all those different names for those things. Mrityakateva Satyam. That Mrit iti eva Satyam is what the father tells us. And like that, 9 questions and 9 answers are there. And then comes the last one, which is the Anubhava Vakya or Mahavakya. Aham Brahmasmi. I am the Brahman. Now, in this Aham Brahmasmi Brihadaranya, based on that, there is a famous verse by Shankaracharya. Aham asmi sada bhami. Naham katachit apriyaha. Brahmaivaha matas siddham. Satchidananda lakshanam. That is, Aham asmi sada bhami. There is never a time when one can say, I was not there. Aham asmi is from the time you start expressing, the Aham asmi is there. Sada bhami, it shines all the time. Kadachit naham apriyaha. I am never hated by anything else. It never becomes unwanted or which can be discarded. Apriyaha. Brahmaivaha matasiddham. Therefore, this thought is there for everyone, whether it's an animal or a plant or a human being or anything. For everyone, this thought ahamasmi is there, and I am dearest of all. And because of that itself, it proves that Brahmaivaha matasiddham. These are all Brahma only. Satchidananda Lakshanam. Sat Chit Ananda Lakshanam is that when, because of the awareness. Why is it aware? Because it is existing. And why is it Ananda? Because everyone likes it. So there is for no one or for at any point of time, it is not a source of happiness. So that is why the Aham Brahmasmi in the Brihadaranya thing. Then there are some other minor Mahavakyas which is called Ekameva Dvidiyam, Soham, Sarvam Khalu Idam Brahma, Etat Vais Tat. This is verily that in Kathopanishad it comes. The first one is Brahman is in Ekameva Dvidiyam Brahma is in Chandogya Upanishad. And then can Soham is in the Isha Upanishad. Khalu Sarvam Khalu Idam Brahma is in Chandogya Upanishad again. Now these are the Mahavakyas. Now, how did the Upanishad deal with this, and from where did the Advaita philosophy come up? For that, in the Katha Upanishad, there is a famous shloka. Paranchikhani vyatranat swayambhu tasmat parang pashyati na andaratman kaschid dhiraha pratyagatmanam aikshat avrutta chakshuhu amrudatvam icchan. Now, Paranchi Khani. Khani means Indriyas. Paranchi is looking outwards or facing outwards. Vyatranat means created. Swayambhu, by the Swayambhu or the creator. Paranchi Khani Vyatranat Swayambhu. Tasmat Parang Pashyati. Therefore, Parang Pashyati, it is looking outwardly. Na Andaratman, not inwardly. Kaschid Dhiraha, that one courageous person or one dhiraha, Pratyagatmanam Aikshata, he saw the Pratyagatman, that the real self or Atma in it. How? Avrutta Chakshuhu Amrudatvam Ichan. He Amrudatvam Ichan Saha Pratyagatmanam Aikshat Katam Avrutta Chakshuhu. By turning the attention inwards. You cannot turn your eyes inward. Even if you close your eyes, it's not turning inwards. So Avrita Chakshu here means by directing all the organs, Paranchikani, all the 5 organs which is looking for sensation from outside, is drawn inside to know the source of the knowledge, that is Pratyagatmana Maikshat. A very, very reverse thing is mentioned in the Gita also, Kormanganiva, like a tortoise withdraws everything inside. Now, how does the dialogue takes place in a typical Upanishad is that the student asks, Kenishitam patati prekshitam manaha, kena prana pratama praiti yuktaha, kenishitam vacham imam vatandi, chakshutshotram kahu devo yunati. Now, this is the first opening verse of Kena Upanishad. Kena means, we all know in Sanskrit we have studied. Kena means by what or by which. Ikshitam, Kena, Ishitam, by desiring by what? Prekshitam manha patati. How the mind, why the mind is decided by what? Kena prana, by what is, who is deciding the prana to operate? And the first breath comes from the prana, who decided it? Keneshitam vacham imam vadanti. These words I am speaking to you, O Master, O Guru. What is the desire prompting me to speak to you this? Chakshu chotram kaudevo yunati. What the eye sees and the ear hears, they are combined together by somebody inside me to know the object. It has got nama and rupa. The nama comes through the shotram, the rupa is in the chakshu. So if I see a horse, tat ashwamasti iti vaktum chet, I have the vision of the horse, and the name of the horse is also, I heard it through my ears. But both them put together, the object becomes a experience of seeing the horse. So kahu devo yunakti, which deva is that one which join, yujadadus, yunakti is to unite. That is one question in one Kena Upanishad. There is another thing in the Mundago Upanishad. Kasminnu bhagavo vijñāte sarvamidam vijñādam bhavati. Oh Master, please tell me, what knowing by which? Kasminnu vijñāte, he bhagavo, kasminnu vijñāte sarvamidam vijñādam bhavati. Everything is known. I have to know separately the horse, separately the cow, everything is known. But how do, that is, I heard that there is something which is known as knowing which everything becomes known. What is that, O Bhagava? He is asking the master. And then the dialogue starts between the student and the guru in that Mundagopanishad. Same way, the Isha is saying, Soham Bhagava, Shochami. This is Narada telling his elder brother, who is Sanat Kumara, in the Chandogya Upanishad, 7th chapter. Soham Bhagava, Shochami. I am, hey Bhagava, I am Soham, and that is I am Shochami. Tamma Bhagavan cha Shokasya param tarayati tva. Tarayati, tarayas. Tarayati, tarayati, how do we break it? Tarayati, tarayati, vati, tarayatvati, tarayatu, iti.
Iti tarayatu, yansandi Mahodaya.
Right?
Yes, Mahodaya.
Yansadi, no?
Yansadi, tarayatu. Tarayati, tarayatu iti. Vakaraha.
Tarayatu iti. So the ikara and the ukara becomes vakara. Right. So Soham Bhagava, that Narada says, I know Nakshatra Vidya, Sarva, all Vedas I know the snake charming, I know the jewelry knowing, I know that this one, I know Nadagam, I know Veena, everything he says I know things. But I have heard that, Bhagava, you have a knowledge by which Shokasya Param Tarayati, by knowing which we cross over the ocean of sorrow. That Adihi Bhagavo, that starts from the beginning. Adihi Bhagavo. Oh, please teach me, sir, or Guru. So the Sanaka says that all what you have told me about the 4 Vedas, Nakshatra Vidya, Sarpa Vidya, Gandharva Vidya, Veenavadam, Jyotisham, everything, Namam Eva. They are all just mere words. So you will be happy only as long as the word have a control over it. And towards the end of the dialogue, the elder brother says, Narada, Sanaka says, Narada, Na alpe sukhamasti bhumaiva sukham. In all that which is limited, finite, there is nothing called sukha, because finite means it has got a beginning and end. Bhumaiva sukham. Bhuma means Brahma. Bhumaiva sukham. In that thing, Bhuma alone can you give the happiness. And then Narada asks, what is Bhuma? Yatra na anyat pashyati, anyat shrunoti, anyat vijanati, tateva brahmatvam, tateva Bhuma. Where you don't see anything other than you, where you don't hear anything other than you, where you don't have anything other than you, that state is called the Bhuma, and that itself is Brahma. That is in the Chandogya Upanishad. In the Brihadaranya Upanishad, which is the most toughest of that, there is a dialogue between Yajnavalkya, who is the teacher, and the his wife, he was planning to take sannyasa and go. So she asked, Sahovacha Maitreyi, Yenaham namrita syam kimaham tena kuryam yadeva bhagavantenda tadeva me bruhiti. Why do you offer all the wealth of the ashramam, the horses, the cows and everything? You must be interested in something more than that, Amrita. You said you are going in search of Amrita. Then what is the use of all these things? Kimaham tena kurya. What do I do with that? Bhagavanta tadeva me bruhi. Let me hear what it is that. And for which Yajnavalkya says, Navare sarvasya kamaya sarvam bhavatya manastu. Na are sarvasya kamaya sarvam priyam bhavati. Bhavatyatmanastu kamaya sarvam priyam bhavati. Are Maitreyi, your liking for the everything is not because of for everything, because everything is Atmanis only. It's yours, your own reflection. Tat karanena sarvam priyam bhavati. Therefore, Atma va are drushtavya, shrotavya, mantavya, nididhyasitavya. Matreyi Atmana va are darshanena, shravanena, matya, vijnanena idam sarvam viditam. This is a very profound this thing, and Shankara has written almost for 2 pages of Bhashya for it, where he says, Atma, the father loves the son not because the son is dear, because the father gets the happiness out of the son is loved. Same way, the husband loves the wife not because the wife is giving happiness. As long as the happiness is given, he assumes the happiness is given by the other object, but the happiness is from within, Atman. Atmanastu kamaya sarvam priyam bhavati. It is because of the Atman inside everyone you are having the happiness. Therefore, you are Maitreyi, Atma va are drushtavya, shrodavya, mantavya. You have to search for drushtavya means here, understand, not by see. Shrotavya, you hear about it. Mantavya, you think about it. And nididhyasitavya. Nischayena dhi is nididhyasitam. You have to firm up your mind in that knowledge. Maitreyi va are darshanena, shravanena, matya, vijnanena idam sarvam vididam. Everything what you say as sarvam priyam is vijnanena idam sarvam vididam. Because of vijnana, only because of the knowledge, everything is known. Now I've given an example for it too. We say that we are seeing so many things in the world in the light, but actually we are not seeing the objects. We are seeing the light coming from those objects or anything what we call it as. But at any point of time, we never acknowledge that it is the light because of which I am seeing. And when eyes are closed also, you see objects inside you like a dream and everything. There also, there is a light of swaprakashata, that your own prakasha, by which you are seeing the objects of the dream. And when you are sleeping and the absolute sleep, where there is nothing known to you, you cannot say you didn't see. You come and say you don't see because you don't see anything outside you. But can we say that you did not exist? That awareness itself was a light of awareness, existence, Satchidananda Rupam. So that is what Vijnanena idam sarvam viditam. So then the Upanishad says, Nayamatma pravachanena labhyaha na medhaya na bhuna shrutena. Na ayam atma, not this atma, you labhyaha. Pravachanena medhaya bhuna shrutena. Any amount of shrutis you study, any amount of intellectual acrobatics you do with medha, or you listen for lifelong pravachana, it is not obtained because it's already obtained in you. Only thing is you have to be aware of it. It is not something to be labhya. Labhya means it has to be external to you. So the Upanishad says, Tameva viditva atimrutyumehi nanya panda vidyate ayanaya. Knowing this only, the mrityu can, atimrityu eti, means you can reach the atimrityu. Na anya panta, there is no other way, vidyate ayanaya, for this, ayanaya vidyate. Tad vijnanartham, for that purpose, sa gurumeva abhigachet samitpani shrotriyam brahmanishtam. So the Upanishad says, that vijnanam, to get that, sa gurumeva abhigachet, he has to approach a guru. Samitpani is those days with for the yajna. Shrotriyam brahmanishtam. One is expert in Shastras and brahmanishtam. In the brahmanishtam word, we can say that, how do we know who is a brahmanishta of among the teachers? There are so many people who call themselves teachers and everything. Krishna says, Yasya pratnyas pratishtitaha sa tita pratnyaha. Sa tita pratnyasya lakshanam eva brahmanishtasya lakshanam. So, if you want to know who is a brahmanishta, the second chapter of Gita, the last few verses were Stita Pratnyasya ka bhashan is the question which Arjuna asked, and for which Krishna gave the 10 or 11 slokas, giving the different method in which we can identify a Brahmanishta. Tasya Pratnya Pratishtita is what Krishna uses in that. So that is how it is this thing. Now before getting into Aparokshanubhuti, we have to Shastrasya Lashanam, because Aparokshanubhuti, whether can we call it as a Shastra? There are 4 Anubandha Chatushtayam. Anubandha Chatushtayam means there are related 4 important things. One is Adhikari. What is Adhikari? Adhikari is the eligible candidate. Sadhana Chatushtaya Sampannana. What are the Sadhana Chatushtayam required for to become an Adhikari? You have to have Viveka, Vairagya, Samadhi, Shat Sampatti Yuktaha and Mumukshutva. Now what is Viveka? Viveka is called as Nitya Nitya Vistu Vivekam. Nitya Nityam is what is real, what is unreal, or what is permanent, what is impermanent. And Vairagyam is Vigata Ragam or detachment, born out of Viveka. If you know what is Nitya, what is Anitya, then you will be attached to the Nitya, you will not be running after the Anitya. Ihamutra Phalabhoga Viragam Vairagyam is the term used. Samadhi Shat Sampatti is there. It will take another 5 more minutes. Samadhi Shat Sampatti Yuktaha and Mumukshutvam. I want to get rid of this Janma Marana, Dukkha, Roga, all those things which is tormenting me, is that Mumukshutvam. Now what is Vishayam? Vishayam is Jiva Brahma Ikya Bodhagam. That shows that you are Tattvamasi, basically. And what is the Sambandham? Adhikari Vishaya Sambandham. That Adhikari and Vishaya should be there. The Adhikari, if it is for Ayurveda, and giving him an Advaita is not going to be any useful to them. It should be Adhikari and Vishayam should be Sambandham. And what should be the Prayojanam? Prayojanam should be for the Adhikari, and it can be attained only through Vishaya. It is called Prayojanam. Ajnana Samshaya Vikalpa Rahidam Moksham. Ajnana is total knowledge, lack of knowledge. Samshaya is you know something but you have got a doubt. Vikalpa is Viparita Jnana. So for every knowledge there are the 3 doshas in it. Ajnana, Samshaya, Vikalpa. Without these 3, what is moksha? Mokshatsu Swabhavataha, Swarupataha. Your own nature or your Swarupa is moksha. That is what is taught through the Aparokshanubhuti. And Aparokshanubhuti, we will be entering the class next class. What it is talks about Aparokshanubhuti is, Aparoksha is also being Pratyaksha, Paroksha is totally the new, known to us. Pratyaksha means Aksham means Indriyas. Pratyaksham, Prati Aksham means by each sensory organ what we grant the knowledge is called Pratyaksham. Now, Paroksha means Aksha, for Aksha, they are Param. They are not in front of the Aksha, which is beyond the immediate knowledge, like, eyes cannot see. Now, if I am saying that there is an animal in Siberia or anything. It is not visible for me. So it is paroksham. What is seeing? I can see my mobile, my laptop. It's pratyaksham in this thing. Now, what is aparoksham? This is only used in Vedanta or Advaita. It is called aparoksham. It is not external. Which is param aksham is not for the sense organs to look outward. Avritta chakshu amrutatvam ichan. That sloka which I told you. So when you turn your eyes inward, you are doing aparokshatvam. And what you are experiencing is anubhuti. While turning the look inward is called Aparokshanubhuti. Vidyanya's commentary deals in detail about it, and we will be staying sloka by sloka. And we will. Any questions? Now I know this time is too much, but then before the Shanti Mantra, let us. Any questions? Because I have taken it too much of. The whole first class for explaining the Vedanta. Vamshi Bhagini, Chandumay Udaya, Abhishek. Any questions?
There are lots of questions, but I am running short of time. That's a problem.
I know that.
So probably if we can take the questions in the next class, because
yes.
We didn't want to stop your flow. You were teaching in a continuous flow, so we said okay, we'll ask it in the next class. That's what I thought. So
yeah, I ran through this because I wanted to complete this part today, so that I don't have to waste it in explaining in another class.
Yes, but that's the basic crux, because there's so many new terminologies and new jargon of Vedanta which I'm not aware. In fact, I'm
absolutely
not
sure I can understand that.
Yeah, I'll try going to the slides once again, and I'll list down all my questions for the next class.
I'll share you the recording. I'll share you the recording and the slide in my email, and then you can listen and look at the slides again. Yes, and one question after I want to ask is, after this Shanti Mantra, I'll stop the recording and then we can discuss about that 2 minutes. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah, Sarve Santu Niramaya, Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu, Ma Kaschid Dukkha Bhag Bhavet. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.